Oh, hello cricket fans. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, subscribe, like the video for me as well. My name is Dan and we are talking about the third test between England and India in the not so newly named Anderson Tendulkar Trophy. Well, that's bollocks, that straight away, isn't it? Anyway, it's 1-1 after 2 test matches, maybe to some surprise, maybe to not a surprise. I'm not really sure. What do you think about it? Are you surprised it's 1-1? Do you think it's fair that it's 1-1? Do you think India should be doing better? Do you think England should be doing better? Let me know what you think about that second test as well, because there's been a lot of upset, hasn't there, about whether England should have just blocked out for the draw, and it's a disgrace that they didn't or weren't able to, or whatever that is. I don't even know if they tried, but I don't really think they care. Anyway, it's 1-1. England won at Headingley. India won at Edgbaston. Shubman Gill is the leading run scorer in the series with 585 runs. And Josh Tong is the leading wicket taker with 11. Although won't be playing in the third test, but we'll get to that bit. India, the third test actually is at Lord's, the home of cricket, in the middle of it. I don't know why it doesn't start there anymore. I think something to do with England not doing particularly well in Lord's in the first test of a series. But anyway, in 2021, they played there and India actually won that game at Lord's. So advantage India if the modern and recent history books are anything to go by. It was a brilliant 100 by KL Rahul, who won player of the match in that test back in 2021 to secure victory for the touring party. And I wouldn't bet against them doing it again. Let's have a look at India. There's some questions, there's talking points, there's things to discuss. We don't know what their 11 is. India are very traditional when it comes to naming their starting 11. They tend to wait until the toss, like most normal teams and countries do, to be fair. The big question is Bumrah back? Probably, yes. I mean, he didn't play the second one. We're told he's going to play 3 of the 5, so it'll be 1, 3, 4 or 5, depending on how that goes. If they go 2-1 up, does Bumrah play the 4th to try and make it 3-1? I don't know. Anyway, but I'd imagine he is back. He is class on grass, isn't he? But they were able to win without him at Edgbaston. No doubt that probably cheered him up to sit there with his feet up on the balcony watching his teammates do the job against England at Edgbaston, which was once a fortress for the England side. But he'll be back, won't he? And he's at Lord's. And I've got of memory, 2021, I feel like he put together some handy runs with Siraj at the end of an innings in that series that just kind of really wound up all of the England fans at that point. Does Karan Nair stay at number 3? He's been, well, light on runs, hasn't he, through the course of this series. He's been a bit topsy-turvy. The first test he batted at 6, the second one he batted at 3. So there's 2 questions, I suppose. Does he stay at 3? Does he go back to 6? Does he stay in the team altogether or does he get dropped? What other options have they got? Sai Sudarsin is an option. Dhruv Jurel is there as a backup wicketkeeper who batted quite well for India A, so could come in as a specialist batter. He's not going to take the gloves over Rishabh Pant. And Abhimanyu Aiswaran as well, who captained India A, is still in this touring party. For me, and I know he hasn't quite matched that triple 100 that he picked up back in 2016, but I think you stick with Karan Nair. I think he gives you the experience. I think he's well liked amongst his teammates, amongst fans. So I think you stick with him. I think you stick with him at 3 as well. Give him the responsibility. Lord's probably only going to play 1 spinner, so I would imagine that would mean that Washington Sundar is benched for the third test. Can't see a world where they play 2 spinners, but because Washington Sundar and Ravindra Jadeja are such good batters, you don't really lose anything if you were to play them in case it goes to a 5th day and in case it starts to turn. We'll see. Other one as well is, do they play, in inverted commas, a proper batter instead of Nitish Kumar Reddy? And if they do, is it Sai Sudarsin who comes back? Or as I say, do they go back? Or do they have a look at Aiswaran? Or do they have a look at Dhruv Jurel? The thing with Nitish Kumar Reddy, I like him as a cricketer. He's a bit of a bits and pieces cricketer. He allows some flexibility in a batting lineup for India that I don't necessarily think needs the flexibility with Jadeja in there. He gives you that flexibility because he is that genuine all-rounder. He's as good as a batter as he is a bowler, and he's a gun fielder, and he gives you that pivot point to be able to balance your side out. So I don't think he's actually required. I think as well, from an amateur perspective anyway, when it comes to the captaincy, if you're given too many options that you think could do a job with the ball in hand in particular, you can get a bit confused by that. I think he only bowled about 6 overs in that second test match at Edgbaston, and he picked up 2 runs. I'd be quite surprised if he plays, personally, and my predicted 11 for India will be as follows. It'll be Jaiswal, KL Rahul, Karan Nair, Shubman Gill, Rishabh Pant. I'm going to bring Sai Siddharth back at 6. We're going to give Jadeja in at number 7. Shardul Thakur comes back at 8 just because he wobbles it about a little bit nicely. Akashdeep, assuming he's fit, will play after that incredible 10 for. Mohammad Siraj, I haven't heard anything to suggest that he can't play 3 test matches in a row, so he will stay. And then Bumrah is back. Let me know if you think I'm right. England. This is the quote from Brendan McCullum. England want pace and bounce, and Jofra Archer is ready to go. That was about 2 days ago when I started putting these notes together. Jofra was ready to go. McCullum wants pace and bounce. And good news, because we've seen that England 11 now, Jofra Archer is back. England will line up as follows in the 3rd test against India. It'll be Crawley and Duckett at the top of the order, with Ollie Pope at 3, Joe Root at 4, Harry Brook at 5, Ben Stokes at number 6, Jamie Smith number 7, number 8 Chris Woakes keeps his place. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Bryden Cast keeps his place. Jofra Archer, the returning Jofra Archer, playing his 1st test since 2021, returns at number 10, and Shoaib Bashir, the lone spinner, sticks in there at number 11 as well. I did wonder whether Gus Atkinson would play. He scored 100 against Sri Lanka at Lord's last summer, took a hatful of wickets as well, and has an incredible start to his test career. Maybe he's not quite ready to go. Maybe he isn't quite fully fit yet when he returns from whatever injury it was that he had, and we'll see him play a part in test number 4 and test number 5. Let's talk about some stuff for the sake of talking about stuff, because that's apparently what proper journalists do. Not that I'm one of those, but here we go. We've had all the talk about Ollie Pope, whether it should be Jacob Bethel, but there's 2 things really for me. One is Zach Crawley. Is he actually under any pressure, or is his place, is he one of the first names on the team sheet? Does his name, because he goes opening, is his name on there before Ben Stokes's? I don't know whether he is even droppable now, Zach Crawley, but he's been in a pretty light run of form. I don't think it's going to get much easier for him at Lord's. I think they're going to be conditions that will favour the bowlers. It will be hot, will be dry, it probably won't swing and nip around as much as what it has done. I don't know. Is he looking over his shoulder? If he is, who's he looking at? I don't know who there is to come in and open the batting with Ben Duckett as a compliment. And the other one as well, Shoaib Bashir. He's had a pretty tough time of it through the first 2 test matches. On pitches as well that have been dry, they've bounced, they've got a bit of turn on it, they've gone long test matches. But again, I don't know who your option is. I really don't. I mean, I spoke about Will Jackson in another video. Liam Dawson doesn't feel like a sensible shout because he's 35 years old. Tom Hartley disappeared off the face of the earth. Jack Leach, again, nobody really talks about him anymore. Do they go youngsters? Do they go Jack Carson, James Coles, Ben Kellaway? There's options there, but I think it's Shoaib Bashir's place for a while to come yet. Jofra Archer, as I said, Chris Woakes. Let's go Chris Woakes. He keeps his place. He's 36 now, and I think it's fair to say that he is showing signs of wear and tear. He was injured before this test series started. He played that second unofficial test against India A, coming back from an injury. His pace looks down, his nip is down. It doesn't look to be quite as threatening as what it has been in the past. And it was something that I raised when Jimmy Anderson was forced out of the team, is if he's too old, why is Chris Woakes not? Yes, I know there's a 5-year difference, but it's not like it's not like a 23-year-old, is it? Like, Chris Woakes hasn't got a huge England future ahead of him. But at Lord's, he is a bit of a cheat code. He averages 42 with the bat, and he has a test 100, but that's not the most impressive part of it. He has 32 test wickets at Lord's at an average of less than 13, 12.9 to be specific. It's phenomenal, and I think because of that, I think you don't get rid of him. And finally, Jofra Archer, as I said, he is back. It'll be his first test match since 2021, and his second test at Lords. This is only his 14th test match in his career. He made his debut at Lords in 2019, where he picked up 5 for 91 against Australia at an average of 18.2 with that phenomenal spell of bowling, the one that saw the concussion substitute of Steve Smith out and Marnus Labuschagne in. It was ridiculous, wasn't it? His career was on a high at that point, having just won the 50 over World Cup. He's got 42 test wickets in his career at 31s, but 2019 was the year that was a standout for him. It was 22 wickets at 20s. He's older now. It feels like a second debut with the time that's gone between that last test in 21 and obviously this one now in 2025. He's more experienced, he's older, he's more mature. Is he fit enough? We don't know. Who knows what role he could have, but you can see why England are so desperate to get him back, because he is a box office cricketer, and we've got the Ashes later on this summer. Let me know who you think is going to win this third test match, if you think, of course, there is going to be a result between the two sides. The weather looks good. I think we're going to get full 5 days in. There probably will be a result in the way that these two teams go about it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully I've helped or learned something, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Share what you want to talk about, really. And I'll see you very soon.